What is up, people of the YouTube land? I'm Awesome2464, you are my viewers, and this is a new series I like to call Versus. Yes, very original name, and an even more original concept. I take two things that are similar yet different, put them together to see which is the more superior one. And I thought it would be a good idea to start this off with a little debate that's been going on for quite some time. That is the debate of Slender versus FNaF. Each of these indie horror games took over the internet in their respective times in their own respective ways. But the question I propose is, which one is better? Now, this is entirely opinionated, I agree, which is going to make this a lot more interesting. I'm going to put these against each other in 5 aspects. Whichever wins the most wins overall. Simple enough. Alright, let's go. Now, when I'm comparing these games, I will be comparing Slender the 8 Pages and the original Five Nights at Freddy's. This is for two reasons. With so many spin-offs and sequels, it would make it easier on all of us if we started where it all began. And these games started the success of their series, so obviously they had to do something right. Alright, let's begin. Round 1. Story. Now, anyone who has at least heard of these games can figure out what the stories are, but let's review them anyway. The story of Slender the 8 Pages is that you, an unknown individual, are trapped in a fenced wooded area haunted by the mysterious Slender Man, a tall, white, faceless, suit-wearing being that can teleport behind you and kill you if you look at him for too long. Your only way of escaping him? Collect 8 pages with strange messages throughout the woods. Be warned, though, every page you find just makes the Slender Man come after you more and more. Then there's Five Nights at Freddy's, where you play as a security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a kid-friendly, not rip-off Chuck E. Cheese pizzeria. You're stuck working the night shift from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. in a boxed-up security booth. A previous employee's pre-recorded messages explain that the friendly animatronics actually walk around at night to keep them from locking up. That wouldn't be bad, of course, if you ignore the fact that if they see you after hours, they will think you are a bare endoskeleton and stuff you into a spare suit, resulting in death. You must use the cameras to track their movements and use the power-killing doors to block them out of the office. What makes this all worth it? Why, your weekly paycheck of $120, of course. Alright, let's analyze these stories a bit more. In Slender, the concept of someone, or something, lurking in the woods and coming after you is a bit unoriginal. Even before Slender, games such as Silent Hill and Resident Evil had these situations found in them. Using an urban legend such as the Slender Man did make it more original, especially with the whole teleportation aspect, but let's be honest, that's really the only difference. On the other hand, how many of you were actually afraid of those robots at Chuck E. Cheese when you were younger? I've personally never been to one enough times in my childhood to remember how scared I was, but even now I find them a bit creepy, which I suppose is the point. Animatronics from a children's pizzeria were villains nobody had ever used in a horror genre, and I honestly can't figure out why. It seemed like such a more obvious choice when FNaF came out. Anyway, the thought of those things coming after you is terrifying enough, but being trapped in an office and just waiting for them to come towards you, that's unique. Round 1 winner, Five Nights at Freddy's. Round 2, gameplay. This is where the games go polar opposite. In Slender, you are walking around, having practically a lot of freedom as to where you can go in the world. On top of that, the only time you need to focus or click on anything is when you find a page or when Slender Man appears. Then there's FNaF. You're trapped in one room with your only idea as to what is happening outside being the security cameras and the door lights. When an animatronic gets outside the door or in the office, you can't fight back. You can only use your fast reflexes to stop them. Now, both of these styles are opposite, as stated before, but which one works better? Well, again, Slender is unoriginal in that aspect. Plenty of horror games require you to walk around in the unknown. That's what made FNaF stand out from the other horror games. When the villain is near, other games require you to fight back. Not in Five Nights at Freddy's, though. The only way to fight back is to close a door before they attack you. That's it. As original and scary as that is, there is just one thing that brings this game down when it comes to the gameplay: unfairness. While both games have enemy AIs that are practically random, Slender's random is safer because you don't have to look at him when he teleports to you. In fact, that's the exact opposite of what you need to do. FNaF, on the other hand, is pretty good with its enemy AI, but there's just one problem. When Bonnie frickin' camps outside your frickin' door and you need to close it, but you won't leave and he drains all your power and you lose it. But in all seriousness, both AIs are random, but at least Slender's random's a bit more fair. So, with that, the winner of round 2 goes to Slender. Round 3, Antagonists. This, in my opinion, is the central focus of any horror game. Even though the antagonist may not always be a monster or person, every horror game has to have some sort of antagonist. So, how did these games' baddies hold up? Well, Slender has one antagonist, the Slender Man. Unless, you want to count that stupid flashlight that's always running out of power.
Yeah, flashlight's not doing so much help right now. Well, alright then. There you go.
Slenderman himself is honestly not that scary, in my opinion. I mean, he's a tall, pale faced man in a suit. Sure, he's missing a face and has freakishly long arms, but I wouldn't call that scary. In fact, the only reason I'm scared by his appearance is because a loud noise plays when you see him. He just looks too human, as strange as that sounds. Now let's look at FNaF. The game has 4 main antagonists, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, as well as one secret antagonist, Golden Freddy. When we look at these games' teaser trailer and some of the promotional posters at the restaurant, we see these guys as cute, fun-loving animatronics who make the children happy. The actual gameplay, though, is a different story. We see these guys in freaky positions making freaky expressions, not to mention the fact that some of their attack methods are heart-pumping. You have Foxy, who sprints down the hall. I mean, you can literally see him sprinting down the hall. And then there's Freddy, You Can't See Me Fazbear, who sneaks into the office without a warning. It's honestly the only scare that still worries me when I play. To put it simply, FNAF has more baddies with more methods of attack. Not to mention, they're too creepy. I mean, look at this. This is stuff of nightmares. Round 3 winner, Five Nights at Freddy's. Round 4, Scariness. Now, this is certainly subject for debate. There are those who argue that both are considered the scariest games ever, while some argue neither are scary at all. Well, I'll cut straight to the point. Both are scary for those wanting a quick scare. While there are games like Silent Hill who have the spooky atmospheres and creeps that make lasting scares, Slender and FNAF are different. They both have spooky atmospheres, yes, and they can give you the chills, but once the game-ending jump scare hits, that's it. Game over, take time to relax, get right back into it. I mean, that's how it works, right? Well, let's take a look at Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm quite serious when I say the jump scares here are game-ending. When an animatronic gets into the room, you can officially publish your obituary because you are deceased. No chance to escape, no chance to try again. The game just ends when you're jump scared. Then we have Slender. Yes, some jump scares do end your game, but sometimes you can look and run away from Slender Man, giving you a chance to escape while being scared out of your mind. With your heart pumping and sweat beating down your face, you can continue the game. And that honestly makes it scarier. The fact that you just cheated death and may not be able to do it again. It's just terrifying. Both games have this feeling, yes, but Slender can do it in the same playthrough. So, I'm gonna have to give the winner for this round to Slender. Fifth and final round, popularity. Okay, let's be honest. You know who's gonna win this round, but let's just go through this anyway. Slender the 8 Pages was a game based on an already popular creepypasta, Slender Man. By that logic, that should make the game more popular, yes? Well, yes and no. When the game was first played, it was certainly popular all over YouTube. In fact, YouTubers like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and YamiMash all gained lots of popularity through the Slender games. So, in a way, it was popular. Keyword was. Now we have Five Nights at Freddy's, the new game based on the nightmares and criticism of indie game maker Scott Cawthon. It wasn't based on anything pre existing that we know of, and it certainly paid off. Everything from drawings, songs, and even other games have spawned off of Five Nights at Freddy's. And honestly, a lot of them have been really good, although there have certainly been some bad ones. Slender has had its own share of the 3, yes, but you honestly haven't really heard of or see any of them, or at least any more. Sorry, Slendy, the victor here is clear. Round 5 and overall winner, Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, you could call this a little bit biased, since I got a lot more into Five Nights at Freddy's than I did the Slender games, but you know what? I've been a huge fan of both games, and you know what? This is all entirely opinionated. Of course, opinions on the internet? Ugh, no wonder I'm sure you're all freaking out. That's like illegal. But anyway, that concludes this first episode of Versus. I hope you guys enjoy the series. The series I hope to keep going. And I already have an idea for another episode that may or may not be related to Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't worry, it's not comparing it to another game, it's comparing it to itself. And I'll leave that at that. But if you have suggestions for any other things you would like me to verse against each other, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see more of this series, please give this video a like, and if you want to be notified of the next video, why not hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do other stuff besides verses, including some Let's Plays, and a few more series I hope to do down the road. But anyway, that's all I got here, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.